I graduated high school at 17. I didn't go straight to college. I caught my first drug charge before I was 18. So I was on probation, suspended license, things like that for a couple years. Then I caught my second drug charge when I was 20. So college was never in my path or anything like that. Something interesting happened during my trial and my second drug charge. In that case, I had a co-defendant, which is like somebody I got arrested with. That happened to be my uncle. And my uncle he basically took a plea deal, and part of his plea deal was for them to drop all of my charges if I pursued an education. And the judge accepted those terms, and then that's how I ended up at Westfield State. I went through the urban education program. So I didn't have the GPA, I didn't have the SAT scores. This program was specifically designed for me to live in Westfield at the college. It was 8 weeks at the time. I think it's only like 4 now or 5. And we stayed there for 2 months, and it was to basically teach me all over again. So I took classes and stuff like that, and that got me into my undergraduate program. I started as like criminal justice major because that's what I was. You know what I mean? You see things on TV, that's what you're used to. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm about to, you know what I mean? I'm about to be one of them crooked cop type, you know what I mean? But it was like being inside of, being in those classes in a predominantly white school, and the only black person in the class. Springfield was brought up a lot with like crime and conversations, and I was always looked at for like to give the example or explain something. And I was passing those classes without buying books and stuff like that because it was just talking about stuff I was used to, and I wasn't feeling that. So then I became a political science major because I like to argue and I'm into all that type of stuff. And I ended up getting into an argument with a professor over a work. She gave me a grade I didn't think that I deserved because she was telling me I didn't have the right sources and things like that, but I was speaking from personal experiences. I would share, but that's maybe not appropriate. So then I ended up becoming an education major because I enjoy teaching, unlike the rest of them, but not in like a traditional sense. I don't want to sit in front of the class and teach. I just want to, have a group of people and figure out, the Boys and Girls Club was my space growing up. So I think of spaces like that to teach there. So then from there, I graduated with an ethnic and gender studies degree, and I didn't really expect much to do because I had a record already. We already know they're not hiring nobody, and I ended up getting an offer at a group home. And when my Corey came back, they brought me in, had 1,000,001 questions, and the dude told me straight out, like, I think people deserve second, sometimes third chances, and he hired me. So I did that for like 2-3 years, and in that process, I ended up getting my Corey sealed. And then once I got my Corey sealed, it was up from there. And then I ended up going to Ferguson. I didn't want to go to graduate school. I was trying to work, stack money and whatever. Ended up going to Ferguson when Mike Brown was murdered, and ended up meeting some gang members and some community members out there who was like doing stuff that the gang members and people I knew wasn't doing. And they were doing community building and stuff like that. So when I came back, I was like, I'm going to try to like move forward and like do stuff like that. So I started doing community programs. I raised money, brought 10 kids to a week-long college tour. We hit like 6 different schools. I just, doing different things like that on my own, just raising money, saving it. I did stuff like that. So then I ended up applying for graduate school, and I got rejected because I wasn't the best writer, and that's what they're looking for. But I knew a guy named Dr. Kamal Ali, and Dr. Kamal was like, nah, we ain't having that. So he brought me straight to the school, went into the program. The dude wasn't there. He made the secretary call him on the cell phone. The dude came in like 15 minutes, and I had a portfolio of everything I did, all the stuff I was doing on my own. And I presented that to him, and he took some time, looked through it, and he was like, you did all this on your own? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, give me a couple weeks. I'm going to talk to some people. We're going to get back to you. And I got an email from the school with a letter that was like, we apologize for your rejection letter. We would love to have you in the program if you're interested in it or whatever. And then I took it and ran with it. and now I'm here. I got my master's, and I'm working on my PhD now. So in the next 2 years, hopefully I'll have that wrapped up.